this year's party, I'm actually honoring my niece who just graduated from school, from high school 2 days ago on June 1st. And she's going into the Coast Guard. So we're going to kind of make it special for her at the party. So anyways, we got a helicopter with 2 blades. Let's go see if it's working. Looking good so far. Next one down here on the bottom is the Army. It's a picture of a tank. This one up here is a smaller version of the Marines. I'm not actually using this one. I made it bigger right there. So now we have right here the Navy. And the last one, which is my favorite, because I was in it, the Air Force. Alright, we're good on that. Let's move down to the last board. This is my axle left board. It has a total of 16, let's see here. $18 circuits on this one. Since I added 18 extra circuits, I will have to go get more extension cords. Good all the way up to the USA board so far. All I gotta do is finish checking this, and then the USA board has not been tied in. I got some serious flaws in the new boards. Putting this one here instead of down there, the lights are touching. I think once I finish up this last board here, I'm going to call it a wrap for the night. Alright, everything's done except for the last 3 boards, which has probably 50% of all the lights on it. A lot of the lights that cross over back and forth, various other things. I'm going to call it a wrap for today. I'm going to add to this again and finish up that other side, and then I'll start showing you the front of it. So look at all the extension cords that are everywhere. Excuse me. A close up of the stuff. When it's all said and done, all these cords will be neatly tucked away. So we'll walk over here to the USA board. You can notice all the panduit straps. Those are ones that cross over. Here we are again, just tons of them that cross over. You can see the empty lines without lights. They are the ones that cross over. We got it around the Great Lakes. We got it up there in the New York area. Down here in the Florida area. Going across Texas we have it. Going to the West Coast we got lights that cross over. And then on top of all that, you can see yellow outline in the middle. That's also a separate circuit. And that would be soldiers. And then we have a couple of states. Here's a state that crosses over. Got another state right here that crosses over. One right here that crosses over. And amongst the big picture here, I think Texas crosses over, it may not. But as you can see, I still have a lot of work left. One quick look at the front. Once again, you can see all the empty holes. Things that have to be filled in that cross over from each other. Yeah, there's Texas right there. I knew it crossed over a board. I'm gonna go over here. That's my new board. I'm really not happy with the way the drum turned out, so I will probably redo this board next year. Then we have the money bag, you can't tell, but then there's the USA, hearts, two little kids pulling a wagon. There's Mom right there, you can't tell it yet, but we'll show her once we get everything hooked up and turn the lights off. There's the helicopter, Marine symbol up there. There's Army down there, you can tell the Army. You can see the shape of it. There's Air Force, you can see that shape. Navy. My Axle F board. A lot of space here in the middle. Alright. So it's been a couple of days since I've been able to do anything, but I've been inside programming the stuff, and I come up with a problem that I have. This particular board has a cross in the middle, a drum right here, falling soldier, and the dog. The problem that I have is, and I didn't give this much thought when I laid it out, is my original board that was right here had nothing but a drum on it. So I didn't have any issues with competing with anything. But now that I have the drum in the middle, I cannot have the drum come on if I have the fallen soldier or the cross on, because it just won't look right. So what I decided to do was forget about this drum right here, and I will put up my board from last year that had the drum on it, but I have to cut the board in half. So we'll go down there and look at it real quick. All right, so here's the board from last year. Right here, you can see the drum, the sticks and stuff up there, but I had to cut it in half. So drum is back to working as needed. The only problem is I'll have to reprogram putting the drum back in, where down there I had to take the drum out and I programmed turning the drum off while the other things are on. So we're good to go. So what we have to do today is check this drum and make sure everything's working, and then I will continue on with the USA and the other part down there. On this particular drum layout, I have, what's not cool is not a single circuit come on. I forgot to plug it in. Be right back. Much better. I can see some of them are on now. I plug this in at my house, and every evening I unplug it, so it happens. I like seeing lights on. Other than a few bulbs that need to be pushed in, everything's good. As you can see down here, there's quite a few extension cords that are just dangling down. I'll get those sorted out when I put the controllers up and get it all neatly tucked away. Alright, let's go down here. Back to the dog again, just for a moment. I showed this picture to several people, and they said it looked like a seal. instead of a dog. So what I've done is I had 2 extra bulbs up here, and that's because that's the center of the circuit, and those 2 bulbs are a little fatter than the rest. I drilled the holes out, made an ear. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see if we have anything else left on the yellow. Because if I have anything left on the yellow, I'm going to make a little tail for him over here. Alright, I got 13 lights left without adding another cord. So what I'm going to do, I could reroute all of this and have to move all the bulbs down, and then I could end up with probably 7 more bulbs, but I'm not going to do that. If it doesn't look like it's well defined with just those few bulbs, then I will go ahead and add another extension cord, or another light cord rather. I like to keep them marked so I can tell what needs to go there if I have to pull anything out. Now remember, a dog is orange, only for the lack of not having very many other colors in the string. So I have to change out all of the orange, all the other bulbs that are not orange. Current temperature is about 95 degrees. It did just rain for a few minutes while we were gone. It's picked up some humidity quite a bit, but we're good. The bulb's giving me problems. I definitely don't want to leave it with it flickering off and on. I need to fix the bulb, tighten the wires down in it. This particular one keeps going off and on. Or move on to another bulb. In this case, I'm moving on. And I don't usually put the bad bulb back into my collection. That's one of the reasons why I work with them plugged in, is so that if I come across a bulb that's got a problem, that's not making good connection, I can change it out right then and there. All right. The dog and the wagon have 2 different circuits, so looks like I'll have to use an extension cord to connect these 2 as well. I was telling a friend of mine today about having somewhere around 80 extension cords here, but the deal is only a few of them are on at any given time, so I'm not really pulling a lot of amperage. Alright, let me walk around there and look at that tail and see how it come out. You won't be able to see much, but I'll take you with me. I don't know if you can see it in here or not because of the sun, but you can definitely tell where the wood chipped when I put it through, so I'll come around here and I'll paint that as well. Push all these bulbs back. The reason why I paint it black is when I painted it white the very first year, all of the light was just absorbed into it and it made it like this big old whitewash of lights. Here's the dog's mouth. You can see how it has a little V shape, blue eyes. And right here is where I put those 2 extra bulbs that I had to make it look like the ears. This right here, I call it the time of the year that I'm planting bulbs. What I'm actually doing is putting the bulbs out and letting the sun charge the solar thing so that I'll have a good pathway for everybody at night. All right, back to the back of the board. Now it's time to move to the USA, which is the absolute hardest one. You can look through here and you can see all kinds of holes that are missing. Let me zoom back out here. See all these that are missing all throughout here, through here, crossing over from here, down here. All of these tie in from one board to the next. And these strings that I have zip tied together are the ones that cross over. So what I have to do is take all these out, find out where they start at, what path they're taking, and then put them all back in. This takes longer than any of the other boards put together. My collection of new extension cords, since I had to buy more for the boards that I added. There's 18 more extension cords here. Plus I still have 3 or 4 on the ground.